Hi, welcome to the Your His Story podcast. I have Davin here with us today, who is going to share something really incredible, part of what his story is like, and really what brought him to Jesus, why he feels like he needs to share this today, and share it with those that can be encouraged to overcome things that he possibly has and can share those experiences with you. So I'm really excited to have you on and just, hear your testimony. Like truly the power of a story can make impact. And I've already seen it with just the last 3-4 episodes I've filmed. The way that people have just been able to speak so much encouragement. And, I had people who just were like, I had no idea that someone was going through the same thing that I was going through. So I'm excited to see how you can make the same impact that these other episodes have been. Yeah.
I'm excited. Excited to be here. Thank you for
having me. Yeah. Okay, so
I'm not much of a talker.
What would you say, if someone stopped you in your tracks and we're talking about someone who's not a believer and they're going to challenge you to express, why do you believe in God? Why do you walk in faith?
Yeah.
Why did you choose this life? Where would you start that was like the breaking point for you that made that impact?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say, honestly, aside from me being a walking miracle, a lot of people would say that, we're all walking miracles, right? But I can actually attest to that, to being a walking miracle, because I should have died 5 years ago. Like, I should have died. And God literally spoke through me. I literally felt him, like, urging me to speak.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were you a believer at this time?
I was a believer.
Okay.
But you only like really believe to a certain extent.
Yeah.
A lot of believers, a lot of Christians and stuff, they call themselves Christians, they call themselves followers and all of that stuff. A lot of them, they really start to believe that when they have actual encounters.
Mm.
That's why some have the questions.
Yeah. Because
they haven't had that encounter with him. I had that encounter with him. And that was my first time really having an encounter with him and knowing 100% that it was him.
Wow.
Instead of having the second thoughts like, is this my ambition talking, or is this really him?
Right.
I knew right off the bat that it was him. Because at first I was trying to fight it. I was trying to stay quiet. And to go into detail, I was in a mental hospital when this happened.
Mm-hmm.
When I had this encounter, I was in a mental hospital. And from me attempting suicide, 5 years ago, almost 6 years now, attempting suicide because I had lost my career in the military due to a very bad breakout. As you can see from my hands are really scarred up.
Is this a diagnosis?
Yeah. So I was born with eczema.
Okay.
But it became really, really severe.
Wow.
It's like,
and
my case is like rare,
so,
like super severe.
Oh, I was gonna say, so this is a case of eczema, but it was so severe that it's rare.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
they had to make specific medication to treat my severity.
Wow.
That's how bad it was. So on my last deployment, I broke out really, really bad. I was supposed to be there for 9 months, I ended up being there for 2 months. They said to get me home early because I started breaking out really, really bad. Skin drying up to the point where it was splitting open.
Yeah.
And the back of my knees would split open and all of that stuff. Couldn't wear clothes anymore. Like, it got really, really bad. Started losing my eyebrows, losing my hair. My hair was falling out and all of that stuff. So
because it was affecting those parts.
Yeah. And because I was in such a dry area, because I was deployed, I was overseas. Because I was in such a dry area, whenever my skin was split open, just all of that dirt was just getting into my pores, so it was just making it worse.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was thinking that after I got out, that it would get better if I would go to a better place.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, obviously, Florida, where you have all types of climates and stuff.
Yes.
Hot.
Humid.
But you have some moisture, right? And
yeah.
It didn't work out like that. And it got worse to the point to where like I said, I couldn't wear clothes, I couldn't move. I had to sleep sitting up Yeah, I would end up taking like hour-long showers, just scrubbing, just to try to get through the layers of dead skin that was just caking up and caking up with my body.
Oh my gosh, because that's painful.
Yeah, it was super painful. I couldn't walk. I was in a wheelchair. Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
I was in a wheelchair, and if I would stand for more than like 2 minutes, liquids would start seeping out of my legs.
I didn't even know that eczema had such a scale of severity.
Yeah, it was bad. So I had seen 50 different doctors from the time I got out of the military up until that point in 2018 when I attempted suicide.
Yeah.
50 different doctors, and they all would run tests, and they all said, like, your tests are all coming back normal. But we clearly know that there's nothing normal about what's going on with you, but they keep saying it's just eczema. So when you get that report, it's like, okay, well, they can't find anything wrong with me, but I know something's wrong with me. What is wrong with me?
Yeah.
So that was a very, very, very tough season. That lasted for 3 years. 3 years of it getting worse and getting worse and getting worse. And I had a vision one day where I had actually killed myself in my home. I was sitting on the couch. I was by myself too, and I'm glad I didn't have anything in the house at the time, because I probably would have. I was sitting on the couch, and it's like I watched myself stand up, and me being a soldier, I saluted, and then with my left hand, I pulled the trigger out, and I killed myself right there.
Wow.
And the only person that I spoke to at that time was my mom. I called her immediately, tell her about the vision, and she's like, "Yes, I'm gonna pray for you." My mom's a prayer warrior. I became so upset with him, so angry at him. And I was like, "So you call yourself the healer, and your son is dying."
Wow.
I'm dying.
Mm-hmm.
But you're the healer though. If you're the healer, why don't you heal me? I'm crying. As I'm praying this, I'm crying. I'm by myself. It took me like 20 minutes to walk to my bathroom to take a shower. So I'm literally crying out to him. Like, you are the healer, but I don't believe that you were gonna heal me. You're letting me die. So I want to die, and you're letting me die. So what did I do? It felt like punishment.
Yeah.
So what did I possibly do for you to punish me like this, to where I'm a prisoner in my own body? I can't move. I might as well be dead. Like, I can't move.
Yeah.
If I even think about moving, my skin splits open.
Right.
If I move, my skin splits open. If I stand, my legs swell up. I can't wear clothes. I'm literally sitting in the same spot all day, every day, unless I have to get up. I'm having to get help to the bathroom. I'm having to get help to do anything. You have to tell the kids no all the time because they want to play with daddy. They don't understand what daddy's going through. They just see daddy sitting down all day.
Yeah.
It started around 2016,
Mm-hmm.
but it just kept getting worse. It kept getting worse and worse. Because of that, I lost a lot of memory of everything prior.
Really?
So a lot, yeah. They call it like survivor mode or something like that. Where survivor's remorse or something like that. I don't remember a lot of big events that happened prior to me getting sick.
Wow.
Yeah. So like a lot of different stuff that I've told about. Do you remember this? No. It's like
it's almost just like the way your brain had to just like deal with your situation and that high intense pain and everything. It's like it had to suppress a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
A whole lot of that. When I say sometimes I'll talk to some guys at work and stuff, and I tell them that God is real. I really mean that, because my last time going to the hospital, I was in a wheelchair. They had to pick me up out of the chair and place me onto the bed because I couldn't move. And the doctor literally looked at me and said, "What happened to you?" He thought I was set on fire. That's how bad I looked. He thought I was set on fire. I couldn't tell him I was just crying because I was in so much pain. They gave me this shot where the medicine went into my bloodstream. And the doctor said, the shot is not what's going to hurt. It's the medicine going through your bloodstream that's going to be painful. And about 2 minutes it kicked in. And that was some painful mess. Because it's like my veins just like tightened up. So, but the medicine was working so that way I could move without being in pain. So it worked. So then they asked me you go to the doctor, you do the little diagnostic in the beginning. And it's like, have you ever thought about suicide? Have you done this? And I said, yes. And the lady stopped. She was like, wait, what? And I was like, yes. It's like, yes to what? It's like, because usually people say no.
Yeah.
I said yes. And she's like, you attempted suicide? It's like, yes, actually, I tried a few days ago. I finally got up enough courage to go outside. I went to Target. I was going to Target. I don't even remember what I was going to Target for, but I'm walking out. I'm doing my little breathing. It's like, okay, just go in. Don't look at nobody. Just go in, grab what you need, and get out.
Yeah.
Quick. I get out the car and I start walking. This couple walking to their car on the same side that I'm on, they see me stop and cross over to the other side of the parking lot, just so that way it wouldn't be by me.
Right.
I saw that, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, I'm the only one out here.
Yeah.
Immediately, I turn back around, go into the car, and I drive home. And my thought is, and rest in peace to my cousin. My cousin died like this. He died from carbon monoxide poisoning. He fell asleep in his car in the garage.
Wow.
That's what I thought to do.
Right.
It's like, if I'm gonna kill myself, I don't want to feel it now.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go. I don't have a gun, so I can't blow the brains out. So I'm gonna go out like this. I would rather not feel it now. And I tried it. I literally kept the car on, closed the garage door, and I tried to go to sleep. And literally something got me out of the car. Literally, as I'm laying there, trying to go to sleep, and something said, get up. So I got out the car. So I told Jazz. Then they said, okay, well, we're gonna have to make a record. I was like, what does that even mean? I never heard of that.
Oh.
What does that even mean? It's like, well, because you attempted, we have to take you to a mental institution. Oh, you gotta take me to the crazy house? So it's like, and no shade to anybody, bro. No shade to anybody that's been there. Like, look, I'm a witness. I've been there. It's like you grow up in certain areas, and they say, oh, bro, if you like, that's the crazy house. You don't ever want to go there. It's like, so they were like, no, it's a mental institution, and it's different being on the inside of that. They're not crazy. They're just normal. They're all normal people that need help.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
They're just normal people that need help. Somebody to listen. They need somebody to love them.
Right.
That's why the world is the way it is.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of love. Like, that's the one thing that as followers of Christ, that's what he preaches the most. Love. Without love, there's nothing. There's calamity, there's destruction without love. If you have love, it's like the love of a father. The love of a father. My sons, they seek that from me. And I try my best to give it to them.
Yeah.
I didn't have that for a long time in my life. I lost my father. My parents divorced when I was 10. And our relationship, there is no relationship with me and my father anymore. And that hurt because I had a lot of questions growing up. From the time I was 9 when we first left, all the way up until last year, I had questions. I had an encounter with my father last year, and it wasn't what I wanted. So I was told that I'm not wanted in his life.
Yeah.
So now I look at it as like I would rather go the rest of my life with the questions unanswered than to get the answer like that.
Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah, too. Right.
Yeah, and that's why I try to love. Yeah, that's why those people in there, they're missing love.
Yeah.
And I was in there not wanting to talk to anybody, not wanting to be there, you know, and they have these programs in there where if you go to these meetings, it looks good. It makes it look like you're trying, so they let you leave early. So I was like, okay, well, I'll go to one just to see what they're talking about. And nobody knows me at this point. I'm sitting in the back. I'm in the back because, you know, like I don't want to be around nobody.
Yeah.
It's like, 'cause the last time I tried to be around somebody, they looked at me. And I'm sitting there. I don't even remember what the doctor was talking about. I don't remember what he was saying. But I got this warm, like, gut sensation that I had never felt before. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, it's almost like you're anxious.
Yeah.
That anxious feeling. It's like a mixture of anxious and hungry. How I was getting. I started getting hot.
That's a good description.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm starting to get hot. I was like, okay, let me sit here. So he keeps going on, he keeps talking. And I get that feeling again. And I'm like, and it's like something like just like pushed me to have to like I had to say something. So I was like, Doc, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to interrupt you or anything like that. I'm not trying to go against what you're saying. I feel like I just have to say something. So if you don't mind, could I speak? I was like, okay. I feel like I have to. There's this quote that I heard. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That's why it's called present. And I started with that, and I started speaking. Like the more I spoke, the better everything felt. The better everything felt. So I started saying that. I said that quote, and then I came up with this way of describing everybody's life, everybody's walk, in the form of a rope and a wall. And I said, everybody's got a different wall. Everybody's got a wall, right? We're all at the bottom of this wall. Now, your wall may have more nails, more holes in it than mine. But everybody's got this same rope that you have to grab onto. God is at the top of that wall, each and every one of our walls. And he's holding on to the other end of that rope. And he's yelling down at us to grab hold to that rope. Now, all we have to do is grab onto that rope and start walking up this wall. Now, you may slip. You may bump your knee. You may scrape your knee on your wall. But as long as you don't let go of that rope, God will let go of his rope. God is at the top of your wall, and he's telling you, hey, watch out for that nail on the right there. Watch out for that. Don't step there. There's a hole right where you're about to step. Walk around it. And he's guiding us every time. As long as you keep looking up, don't look down, just look up. You keep looking up. He's gonna guide you wherever you need to get to, as long as you don't let go of that rope. People were in there crying. Even the doctor was like, I have never heard anything like that before. If you don't mind, can I use that for my next meeting?
Oh wow.
And that's the first time I had a real encounter with God.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I just let him speak.
Yeah.
I let him speak. Everything that I said, somebody in there needed to hear.
Right.
We're not crazy. Nobody here is crazy. They just needed to hear those words. They needed to know that they're loved, that somebody is watching them, somebody is calling out to them. They just need to be able to hear it.
Yeah.
And I had that encounter 2 different times in there. When you're Baker acting, you're only supposed to be there for 3 days. I was there for 7 days. And day two came. And I'm like, okay, I'm leaving tomorrow.
Yes.
So I'm asking the doctors, like, okay, have you heard anything? Am I leaving tomorrow? And they're like, no, we haven't got anything. I was like, really? Like, tomorrow's day 3. Like, yeah, I know. We haven't got anything as far as you leaving, anything like that. Day 3 comes. My bad, Davin, we haven't heard anything. Start feeling anger. Start feeling stress. So this is how I know that I was really just trying out. So my life started changing. My attitude started changing. I had a room to myself. I'm sitting there, and instead of me being angry, I literally got on my knees and I started praying. And I said, you know what, God? Instead of me being mad about the fact that I'm still here, I'm gonna let you do whatever you need to do. So I'm gonna let you do whatever you need to do. Clearly, it's not time for me to go ahead. You need me to stay longer. As bad as it hurts, I will stay longer. So 4 days go by. We're on day 7 now.
Right.
And we have another meeting. The table that I was sitting at the last time God spoke to me, all of them, like, we all became like close.
Wow.
And tight, so we started talking and all that stuff. One of the girls in there that was crying, he said, I don't know where you came from, but I needed to hear everything you said. And she became a friend of mine. Like it was like 6 of us. And we were sitting at this table and stuff, and we were just joking and laughing and all that stuff. Like life is good, you know. She gets to talking, and one of the brothers that came a couple days prior, he was sitting by himself in a corner, and he kept looking at our table. I just kept looking at our table, and he stopped the doctor this time, and he was like, Doc, I'm sorry. I want to speak to the people at this table here. And he was saying, he's like, I don't know how y'all doing it. He's like, I don't know how y'all are so happy. I don't know how you're so happy when we're in here, right? We're in a place where society throws away the crazy people. Like they lock them up and throw away the key.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know how do y'all do it? How are y'all so joyful? And as he was saying that, I got that feeling again. And I was like, brother, I don't know your name. I don't know how old you are, but I can tell you one thing. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter where you are in your walk, in your life right now. It's like, look, we're joyful. We're joyful because of one thing, because of God. Because of God. It's like we're all in here, like I said before. It's like we're in a building where society looks at us like we're crazy, like we're not normal. It's like we're all normal. We just all have different walks. We just all have different walks. It doesn't matter. Like some of our walks is a little bit harder.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's like at the end of the day, you can be like this if you choose to be like this.
Yeah.
As long as you choose to be like this, like everybody here, they took heed to what God said through me. It wasn't me speaking. That was God speaking through me. I just was the vessel he used, and I allowed him to use me as that vessel to get to everybody here. Now they're joyful because now they're understanding what I was saying. They're understanding that, look, life is hard. Life is difficult. Sometimes life is just unfair. But at the end of the day, some of the stuff, it don't come as punishment. Some of it comes as preparation. And
wow, that was good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Thank you, God. Thank you, God. I gave him a handshake and I hugged him. I hugged him and all of that stuff. And then God bless you. He said, God bless you too. And 30 minutes later, he said, Davin, you can go.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Literally God made me stay there
Yes.
to speak to him.
Yeah.
And when he got it, I was able to leave.
And you mind you, like when you said you were there for 7 days, like 7 days is something biblical, you know what I mean? Because of
Completion.
yes.
That's a number of completion.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you said 7 days, I'm like, oh my gosh, like
Yeah.
you already know God's hand was in that, you know? So
It was tied all together. I wasn't supposed to be there for 3 days. I was supposed to be there for 7 days.
wow.
It's the fact that literally they had no track. They had no trace of paperwork for me leaving at day 3.
Crazy.
They got it literally 30 minutes after I spoke in this video.
Yeah, right, which just comes to show, wow,
Yeah.
like how you were being used and what purpose you had in that place. Not to mention that I'm sure at this point you probably were transformed as well because of these encounters.
I still had my mistakes because you can be healed on the outside, but it's the inside that truly counts.
Yeah.
It's the inside that really counts. So I was still having my struggles. This is how God is the ultimate artist. He has the God is you something else, bro. You OG, you something else. Like I said, remember how I said it? I was going through that for 3 years.
Yeah.
That medicine that they gave me, I started clearing up in 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah, started clearing up in 3 days, and I'm gonna blow your mind a little bit too. So you know how Jesus was on this earth for 33 days, 33 years.
33 years.
He only ministered for 3 years.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I go through this hell for 3 years. I started getting healed in 3 days.
Yeah.
He is on this earth for 33 years. He only ministers for 3 years. He gets crucified and then rises from the dead in 3 days. So it's like all of these threes, bro.
Yeah. Those connections. And
Yeah.
just how present he was in your life and your story.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a little scars, but it's okay. I take some scars over that. You know? Scar and all, I got a message.
So then what was the turning point for you there? Where, you finally get to a point where you're healing, God, had worked in you, had used you. You're no stranger to God, but then you're also not necessarily living in that faith, in that full faith, right? Wanting to be that godly man.
It was prayer.
So the turning point was prayer.
It was definitely prayer. Prayer and just being knocked on my face.
Yeah.
In a sense, just being knocked on my face is like, look, you have to set an example. You have to set an example for your children. You gotta be better than what your dad was.
Yeah.
You gotta be better than that. It's like whether he chose to be there or not, you have to be there for your kids.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it was.
Yeah.
I'm blessed with three young kings.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say too. When it comes to, I always think that there's something special when you take someone who walks in their faith, who grew up without a father, who knows what that kind of abandonment is, who gets to meet their father, who's Christ, right? And then God gives them sons.
Yeah.
I always think there's something really special about something like that because I'm like, you have the most amazing father, like God as image to be the reflection that you want your children to be.
Yeah. They have that hole. Now they feel that hole is filled.
Yeah.
Because now they have this precious being that now all of these questions and these fears that you had before, it's like all of that goes away once you're holding your baby in your hand.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to do everything I possibly can for this.
Right.
Because this person didn't have a choice to be here.
Yeah.
It's like, now I want to do everything I possibly can to make sure that they're taken care of.
Did that affect you with your walk in faith?
And I could say it did because, like how you said earlier, that abandonment feeling. I felt that he abandoned me. So when I went through what I went through, sickness wise, I felt like God abandoned me.
Yeah.
Because so that's why I got that upset with him. Because it's like my earthly father abandoned me. And now my heavenly father is abandoning me too.
Sure that just builds up almost like this sense of not only anger but resentment, and like you're almost like grieving this father that you don't have in anywhere, in any point you're turning. What made you say, I'm gonna be more than just better than my father, I'm gonna be a godly man and walk this walk with him?
I want my kids to be godly men as well. I don't want them to grow up oblivious to life.
Yeah.
It's like I want them to know that there is a God. I want them to understand that there's a God. I want them to understand that God healed your dad, and dad chose to live with him.
Right.
He chose that walk. It's a daily walk. Depression is a daily thing.
Right.
You know, I fight and I battle. I battle depression still to this day.
Yeah.
Because depression is something you can't just cut off. It's not a switch.
Right.
You can't just shut it off and turn it back on and shut up. You can't do that with depression. Right. It's a battle. And I choose not to listen to it. It hurts. It's hard to go through those trials and tribulations that young men and men face. And you just learn from what you see on TV, or you learn from what you see on these videos. You learn from the brothers in the neighborhood and stuff like that. You learn from different places, high school, even church. You try to learn from guys in church, but then at the end of the day, you don't really know, because they could have grown up the same way you did.
Yeah.
They could be teaching their boys the same things, like don't show emotions, don't show emotion or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I felt like I had to not show emotion, that I had to bottle everything in, and that's what was killing me.
Yeah.
Trying to bottle everything, not show emotion, not be vulnerable. Vulnerability is a weakness.
Right.
Like that's what you're taught. A lot of them are taught, not all men, but some men are taught.
Yeah.
Vulnerability is a weakness. When you're vulnerable, when you express your feelings, you're soft, you're weak, and all of that. And that's not it. Vulnerability is opposite. It's the strength.
It's strength. It's power.
It's power, because you're releasing. It's like a coil. You release that, and it's like, okay, you good.
Yeah.
Like it's like having a tension headache.
Yes. Yeah. I'm agreeing strongly because I know what that feels.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's
like you release that. Yeah.
Those goody powders, boy, I tell you. Man.
But because it's pressure, like you said, getting released. And that is how good it feels. It feels that good to be free from all that weight on your shoulder. Not to say that it's forgotten, because it is, like you said, a daily battle. You walk with it every day, but you got the tools now, which is God, to be able to get you through it every day. So now, if you were to come across, anyone, but specifically young men, if they were to come and say, like, I'm on the fence, or I don't believe in your God, or what has your God got for me, or, like, how would you defend that? How would you answer that hesitation or that challenge from someone?
I would say I had the same thoughts when I was going through my pain. I actually turned my back on God because I felt that he turned his back on me first. So I wanted to meet him where he was. Ironically, trying to meet God where he is when he's really right there. Yeah. So I would say it's a fear that you have that you don't have anybody. You're missing love. You're missing love. And that love that you're missing is from God himself. When I wised up and let him do whatever he needed with me, that's when I started to feel that fulfillment. When my dad didn't want me, and that hole was pierced into my heart. The only one that could feel that was God himself, because I allowed him to do it. Yeah. And I also showed him those pictures of how God healed me, where I was 6 years ago. this is where I was when God spoke through me. When I wanted to kill myself, this is where they took me.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where I had my encounters with him. And this is how I looked while I was having my encounters.
Yeah.
But through all of this, I chose to let God do his work through me. I became an obedient vessel.
Mm-hmm.
And once I surrendered, that's when everything started to change for me. What you see now is just a byproduct of just the beginning of the miracle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a byproduct.
Yeah.
And I'm just choosing because it's gonna get better.
Yeah.
It's gonna get better. It may take longer, it may stretch longer than somebody else, but I wake up every day knowing that it's going to get better because I know who my Father is.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Thank you so much, Davin, for just speaking so much love into this testimony, because you really see that. You really see that, you know, love and light drives out darkness, and it did in your life, it did in your story. And you know, I really hope that that's something that resonates with somebody, because what you have is special. And if anybody wants to reach out to Davin and talk specifically with him, just reach out to me. We can get contacts. He'll be tagged into the podcast, the video, and everything, so you get to have some sort of connection and commitment here. But thank you so much for being on, for being
Sure.
with us. And
It was fun. It was amazing.
Yeah, good. I'm so glad. I'm sure. I'm so excited to see the results here. But I definitely, encourage you, if you have a story, you need to reach out. You need to be here. You need to come put it on out for the world to hear it, because I'm telling you, it is causing life change, and you can be part of a big impact. And if you feel like you want to accept Christ in your heart because you don't know what that life is about, but you keep hearing it and seeing what this is about, please reach out to me as well. And just, I can help you with those first steps on how to get that to happen for you. So thank you so much for watching.
Bless y'all.
That was good.
Something.